Hi everyone, welcome back to the Surrey Watch Guy. I'm Dan and today I'm going to be talking about gold. Gold. When you hear the word, what springs into your mind first?
Luck has left me standing so tall.
Well, for some people, I'm sure that song springs to mind when they hear the word gold. But for most people, however, it'll be the visually pleasing colour with its incredibly shiny lustre and the reassuring weight when you hold it in your hand. Nowadays, many brands are offering their most popular stainless steel sports watches in solid gold too, which is a great idea. A gold sports watch, I hear you say? Well, yes. I know we're in the middle of stainless steel sports watch hysteria, with demand far outstripping supply for many brands and models. This has made people look at other options when their preferred steel choice is difficult to obtain. Many people don't wish to pay grey market price premiums, which frequently have a markup of 100% or more. Also, many people would rather have their watch in gold as a form of status symbol, be it overt in a yellow or rose gold, or the old-fashioned stealth wealth in white gold. There's a gold sports watch for everyone. For a lot of people, they're put off by the sheer amount of gold on show and feeling overawed and self-conscious by its presence. One way this can be negated is the use of alternative material to attach the watch to your wrist. In the sports watch category, that would be a rubber strap. It really tones down the flashiness of the gold and lends itself a casual aspect to the look of the watch, which would allow it to be a lifestyle piece and thus own a single watch rather than several steel pieces that each tick a single box, be it dress, sports, etc. It also offers a very different yet very comfortable wearing experience than the bracelet due to the reduced weight on the wrist and the material used. Many brands now offer this option and it makes the gold watch a viable possibility rather than a gaudy trinket to be avoided. With that in mind, here are 3 gold sports watches that most people could probably pull off wearing. First up is the Patek Philippe Aquino reference 5167R. This might not be the super iconic Nautilus that every Tom, Dick and Harry seems to want nowadays, but it certainly has design cues from it and it's been executed in a way that it won't look out of place anywhere, be it the office, the beach, by the pool, at a friend's wedding, and pretty much of any outfit that you throw at it. Many people want to pick up the 5167A, which is a stainless steel version of this one. Of course, it's a fabulous looking watch, there's no doubt about it, but when you change that case from stainless steel and turn it into rose gold and the dial changes from a black to a chocolate brown, something truly magical happens. This watch just screams class, and the rubber strap is totally the way forward. It's a strange blend of dress and casual, yet it works so well. Let's get into the specifics. It's a 40mm case, it's got a lug-to-lug length of 47mm and a rather svelte case thickness of 8.5mm. The case shape has a subtle nod towards its elder brother, the Nautilus, with a gentle octagonal shape, which is a bit like a ship's porthole. The sides of the bezel are mirror polished, whilst the top of the bezel is brushed. Not brushed like you see on any other watch, but a perfect, almost smooth way. It's absolutely beautifully finished. The dial is that famous hand grenade, basketball or geosphere look, with the embossed sections giving it a great texture and visual interest. It's a beautiful chocolate colour with a very subtle metallic finish which matches the rose gold case perfectly. It's got applied Arabic numerals that are also fashioned out of rose gold, and those are filled with superluminova. The hands are simple baton shapes with pointed ends. There's a date window at 3, which is easy to read but thankfully doesn't take over the dial. The look of the watch is a very simple one, but Patek nail these design details perfectly. In this case, less really is more. The checkerboard embossed strap is made of a super high quality composite rubber that's resistant to environmental contaminants such as chlorine, oil, salt water and ultraviolet rays, and it won't fade or split when exposed to them. The strap fits perfectly into the lugs and has an almost organic, seamless blending with the case. It really ups the sporty look. A bracelet would truly have ruined this watch. Holding it on your wrist is a fabulous looking twin trigger deployant clasp, which when closed forms the Patek seal. A work of art in its own right, I think. It really does tick the luxury sports watch category perfectly. Powering the Aquino is the 324 SC self-winding caliber. It's a handmade movement that's beautifully finished. It comes with a power reserve between 35 to 45 hours. Now that's not massive by any means, but it's more than enough for most people. Priced at £31,430, it actually commands a premium on the grey market, with prices reaching £50,000 or more in most instances. Next up is the Rolex Yacht Master, reference 226659. Now this is a watch I've admired from afar since it was announced at Baselworld in 2019. Rolex have really upped their game with this particular watch. It has a stealthy monochrome look to it. The combination of the shiny white gold case and glossy dial marries so well with the matte ceramic bezel and Oysterflex strap. Let's do the quick specifics. The watch has a case size of 42mm with a case thickness of 11.7mm, a lug-to-lug length of 50.3mm and a lug width of 21mm. Enlarging the case to 42mm was a great idea by Rolex, as the monochrome look is very slimming and this adds some extra wrist presence. The case shape is so curvy and not unlike the Daytona in form factor, much nicer than the other steel professional models in my opinion. The lugs are very slender and they curve down beautifully. The white gold takes on an almost liquid-like state. Had the watch been made of stainless steel, the true appeal of it wouldn't have been achieved, if you ask me. The dial is the standard Rolex glossy black with maxi lume plots, which are bigger than all the other references in their catalogue and have been afforded this due to the extra dial real estate. Also made of white gold and filled with chromalite that emits a blue colour at night. Legibility was clearly a key consideration here. Dial text is all white. Even the Yacht Master text is white, which keeps the look simple and tidy. The date feature is at the standard 3 o'clock position and the iconic Cyclops lens is present. With a larger dial, the Cyclops looks less of an eyesore to me, but I'd still rather it was gone altogether, but I appreciate that it's part of the Rolex design language. The watch features a bi-directional bezel. This isn't a dive watch, remember. It's made from a black ceramic that's matte in finish with the numerals in positive relief. This is different to the bezels on other professional models, which have engraving which is filled with platinum. The numerals on this have all been polished to a very high shine, so although they're black, they really pop out against the matte ceramic and it works really well. The Oysterflex Strap is an engineering marvel. It's a matte black high density polymer, and within that are thin titanium blades that give the rubber strap structure. On the underside of the strap are two fins that allow air to pass between the strap and the skin and also help keep the watch in place on your wrist, which is a good thing because this is solid white gold and is quite heavy. The solid white gold clasp is fitted with Rolex's patented glide lock system, which is a real boon because when you buy the watch with an Oysterflex strap, you have to measure the wrist and the AD supplies you with the nearest best fit. So if your wrist were to expand or shrink, it was previously a real pain, but now you can adjust it to your heart's content. Under the hood, the upgraded Rolex 3235 movement keeps things ticking and accurate. Coming in with a 70-hour power reserve and an anti-magnetic hairspring, this movement boasts accuracy of +2 to -2 seconds per day. Very good indeed. The watch boasts 100 meters of water resistance, which fits well with what the watch is marketed towards. Coming in at £23,100, it's a watch that nails the luxury sports watch category, and as it's white gold, it doesn't stand out like yellow or rose gold. This can be a good or bad thing depending on which side of the argument you stand. Last up, we have an Amiga Seamaster Diver 300M. The watch reference number is 210.62.42.20.03.001. This watch is probably the outlier of the three, as this is an actual dive watch but made of solid gold. I'm not sure many people would actually take it diving, but it's nice to know you can if you so wished. Let's get into the specifics. Comes with a case size of 42mm with a case thickness of 13.6mm. It features a lug-to-lug length of 49.5mm and a lug width of 20mm. The case is made of Amiga's Sedna Gold, which is an alloy where Amiga adds copper and palladium to gold, and it creates a beautiful colour that won't fade over time. The case has the famous lyre style lugs that twist in an elegant way and really set it apart from other watches on the market and are a key part of the Amiga design. It's finished in a combination of polished and satin and loves the light. The dial is a beautiful blue hue and goes with the gold perfectly. Amiga know how to do blue very well. This dial features laser etched waves that break up the blue and also add more visual interest and help the dial to catch the light. It's made of ceramic ZR02 and comes with applied indices which are also fashioned out of Sedna Gold, and these are filled with white superluminova. The hands are the skeleton style that are synonymous with the Diver 300M model collection. They look great, but telling the time at night isn't the easiest, sadly. The date sits at 6 o'clock and adds to the overall symmetry of the dial. The bezel is made of blue ceramic, which matches the colour of the dial perfectly. On the cheaper stainless steel models, the diving scale is fashioned out of enamel, whereas on this one it's finished in Serra Gold. It looks lovely. The bezel is scalloped rather than coin-edged, and it looks really good. However, turning it is another thing, especially if you're wearing gloves or with wet hands. But it certainly suits the dressy diver look, which this watch is clearly going for. The case back is an exhibition sapphire affair that's become a staple of Amiga since they've been on a roll with their in-house movements. The movement is a master chronometer 8801. The 1 at the end denotes that the balance bridge and rotor are made of solid Sedna Gold. It's very well finished and deserves to be seen. It has a 55-hour power reserve, is resistant to magnetic interference and boasts an accuracy of 0 to +5 seconds per day. Holding the watch on your wrist is a textured blue rubber strap, and like all Amiga rubber straps, is of superb quality in both build, feel on the wrist and looks. The strap clasp is also made of solid Sedna Gold and of great quality. There is no micro adjustment, however. This watch retails at £19,830, which is the cheapest of the three watches shown. Of the three, this is the most capable, but this is no tool watch in my opinion. It's gold. So there you have 3 gold watches, and all on rubber straps. Personally, I prefer them on rubber straps, as I think an all gold watch with gold bracelet is just too much. Personally, I can't pull one off, but kudos to those who can. So of the 3, if it was my money, I would go with the Yacht Master. I love the simple black and white look. It will suit any outfit and sits under the radar. Me knowing I'm wearing gold would be enough, and only those in the know would recognise it. Also, the fact it's got micro adjustment on the Oysterflex is icing on the cake. It sits between the Aquino, which is the slimmest and most dressy, and the Diver 300, which is thicker and is an actual dive watch. The Aquino is an incredible piece in its own right, but the rose gold wouldn't suit my skin tone personally, and I'd be just very scared to damage it in all honesty, and it's a hell of a lot of money. On the Diver 300M, the blue and gold, they work incredibly well together, but it's too loud for me, and the rubber adds too much blue to the equation, but great watch nonetheless. So, of these 3 watches, which would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see future videos, maybe subscribe, but don't forget to hit the bell icon, then you'll get notifications when a new video drops. I'm also over on Instagram at the Surrey Watch Guy, so give me a follow there. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.